What's going on, you guys? I'm filming this on the same night, but we back again for another movie corner, Crooklyn. I have yet to see somebody that actually said that they did not like Crooklyn. And, I'm not that much of a big Spike Lee fan, all right? Some of his movies, I do like some of his movies. Some of his movies are hit or misses for me. You know what I'm saying? But if he bring out something, I'm going to actually go ahead and watch it because he's a black, director and all that stuff. And I'm just going to support that. But at the same time, I can say that some of his movies I like, some of his movies I don't. Out of all his movies, I feel like Crooklyn is one of my absolute favorites. Like, I could watch that multiple times all the time, you know what I'm saying, and never get tired of it. And I feel like it's because no matter what time frame it is, this took place in the 70s. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of just simpler times, okay? Mind you, you guys, I was not born in the 70s. I was born in the very late 80s, okay? I was born in the 80s, but I'm a 90s baby, okay? And a 2000s teen and a 2000 teen young adult, and a 2020s adult. Okay, there it is. Rock with it. But this movie came out in 1994. And, of course, it's called Crooklyn, which is a playoff for Brooklyn, and I guess how bad things were in Brooklyn or whatever, Crooklyn and all the mess. But listen, this, even though it was called Crooklyn, I honestly don't understand why it was called Crooklyn, because what they depicted, instead of, when you hear something like Crooklyn, you expect to see a whole bunch of violence and drugs and, just poverty stricken and all of that stuff. And, throughout the whole movie. But honestly, that's not what we really saw. We saw probably one incident of a little bit of violence, but it wasn't like gang violence or anything like that. It was a reactionary thing because people was fed up. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when we saw the cops. And then you see that little small snippet here and there, a couple of scenes of drug usage. And it's not even hard drugs. It's glue, okay? Sniffing and stuff like that. Which, I'm glad they put that in there because that goes to show you that you can be addicted to anything. All right. It's people that, oh my God, have y'all ever watched the TV show Strange Addiction? My Strange Addiction. I remember watching a couple of episodes or a couple of stories, not the real whole episodes, where this girl was addicted to eating the foam off a mattress. This guy was addicted to huffing, what is it? Air freshener. People be getting addicted to the smell of permanent markers. Honestly, I like the smell of permanent markers. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I do like it. But Ashley is not out here like sniffing it and all that stuff. If I was to smell one, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's just like some people like the smell of gasoline. I don't understand that, but some people do. And it just goes to show, addiction comes in all type of forms. I don't know if y'all know the one of the singers, I think the lead singers off of what is the group that do Kissing Gang? I like the way you kiss me when we're playing a kissing game. He died from huffing. He was huffing a Freon in the air conditioner. I said, what? What? Okay. Stuff is crazy, and we saw that with the two dudes, Snuff and Spike Lee character, okay? And they literally was just coming around just to, honestly, I just feel like Spike Lee wanted to put himself in a movie, and he wanted not to have a major role, but he just wanted to be the P. Diddy of it, meaning that all up in the videos or whatever. He just wanted to have a role up in there, and he made it so minimum, so I did not mind it. I have a problem sometimes when directors want to be all up in the movies and stuff like that, all up in the shows and everything. Let your other cast members that you actually cast get some shine. And that's exactly what they did. You know what I'm saying? But again, so this movie was supposed to be taking place in Brooklyn in the 1970s, like the early 1970s. And it's this black family. And again, we're showing black love, but black love that has actual issues, okay? And it's so realistic, okay? You see the fights. You got the coming together after a fight. You got the kids that are bad mouthing and being rebellious a little bit, but you know that they really care about the mom and they care about the daddy. They love each other, but they gonna do what kids do. They gonna get attitudes. They gonna get in their feelings. They gonna talk about each other, whatever. Also, what I found crazy or interesting about this movie was when you're watching and you listening to it, it's dealing with certain subjects like you gotta listen colorism, and what I mean colorism, like when the brothers were talking mess about each other because the family has 6 kids. Is it 6 kids or 5 kids? 5 kids, okay? 4 boys, 1 girl. All of the kids are dark skinned except for Nate, who is the second youngest boy, right? And you could say like he's the third, he's the middle child. And you could say he's like a mama's boy too. And he's lighter than everybody else. So at one point, Clinton, who is the oldest, they get into it at the table, whatever, and he called him red, and he was like, he called me red, and he called him a monkey and black and all this stuff. I was like, it was giving me that, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, yeah, we used to do that back in the day. It's a whole bunch of stuff when you look at movies like this and then going back to how things used to be. It's a whole bunch of stuff that people say then that they probably didn't understand, or they did understand, they just didn't care, but people just really wasn't as sensitive as we are, or not necessarily sensitive, but as aware. Okay, you can't get away with saying a lot of things that they said in this movie to each other in this day. You know, the F word was used a couple of times up in here, and I was really confused. Well, I was just like, you know what? Oh, excuse me. For somebody that was different, they called him the F word. Tony Eyes, the white guy that was with all the dogs and stuff, called him the F word. I'm like, is he really gay? We don't even know that. He probably could be on the spectrum. Okay. I really feel like Tony Eyes had a little issue, a little mental thing. And of course, back then, mental health probably really wasn't that prominently talked about or whatever. So they didn't know. And obviously he had to have something going on with him when he had all them damn dogs up in that house, and they kept on saying that the house was stinking so bad that it was coming over into their house. You know what I'm saying? But you got that, and you also had Isaiah Washington back when we liked Isaiah Washington. I had to block him on Twitter one day because he just wow. I can see. Honestly, when it comes to, and I hate to veer off, when it comes to certain subjects, when the political realm, I can understand a certain group of people deviating or leaning towards a Republican type of thing. It's just your makeup. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that just because you black, you have to be Democrat or whatever. But even if you want to be Republican, to be so extreme with it, and like damn near trying to rewrite history just to fit in with the girl, it's just really weird. It's really, really weird when I see black folks that are so deep into it like that. And I'm just like, you do know that they still call you the N-word too, right? I just want you to know that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. So let's just go back a little bit and give a little backstory before we get into it for real, because there's some things in here that we need to talk about. Crooklyn is about a family of 7, I believe. Yes. You have Mama Carolyn, played by Alfred Woodward. Okay, Woodard. Let me just tell you this. Y'all seen Miss Alfred head, Miss Carolyn head up in there, and the way them beads was all up in her hair, and them braids and stuff. Now, Erica Badu, what you gonna say, girlfriend? You gonna fight her too? You gonna her too? Because you stole her hairstyle. And you wanna know where that came from? This from the 70s, okay? And that came from the motherland. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I gotta be a little petty. I got a little bit of petty in me or whatever. It's cute. Now, see, that's fun and jokes. While y'all trying to say that she was joking and all that stuff, she wasn't joking. But what I was doing was joking. Because I still like me some Erica Badu. She problematic as hell, but I still listen to some of her music or whatever. But it is what it is, right? So Mama is the matriarch of the family. You got the patriarch of the family, which is Woody. These are the Carmichaels, right? You got Carolyn and Woody, a black couple together. And I love the fact, first of all, that it is a black couple that are married and they are raising their kids together, and they are in it together, and we don't see nothing about single family homes, and trying to find out who baby daddy is this and how many baby daddies you got and all this stuff. We ain't got none of that, right? We don't hear nothing about him cheating or nothing like that. The only issues that we really having in the family is financial issues, okay? And that can make or break a family as well. A family, a relationship, anything. And so you got that going on, and they have 5 kids, okay? They have Clinton, who's the oldest. Then you have Wendell, okay? Then you have Troy. No, you probably got Nate, and then Troy, and then Joseph, okay? Joseph is the baby. And when I say baby, he probably like 6 years old, 6, 7 years old, something around that. Because Troy just turned 10 in the movie, okay? And so you got them just out here doing what kids do. It feels like that they were on summer break a little bit, because when the movie first comes on, I love the cinematography, and I love, just the essence of seeing these kids outside being kids. Granted, it's the 70s or whatever. They don't have a lot of stuff that we have technology wise that, these kids these days are growing up with. So they were basically had to go outside. Okay. And even in the city, they're still outside playing, you know what I'm saying? But they had their board games, they had their music and everything, and they're out there playing amongst each other and getting that exercise in, living life or whatever. They're not stuck in the house or whatever. Girl, I don't feel like some of these kids know nothing about that these days, because everybody want to play on their phone, everybody want to play on a video game, everybody want to be on Xbox, PS5s, all that stuff, and the computers or whatever. Baby, go outside and touch grass. When we say that, we really mean that. Go outside and touch grass and have fun, okay? We used to rip and run the blocks all the time. This was like, I grew up in the era where our parents told us we can go outside. Okay, just come back in at a certain hour. Don't go past this place, all right? If you want to go to the park, go to the park. We can go places by ourselves. See, things was a little bit more safer, at least in my opinion. Maybe I was delusional. Maybe it's because the area that we stayed in, things was a lot safer. You can go outside and nothing happened to you, okay? Yeah, you have your incidents here and there, but for the most part, we were safe to go outside. Played on the block, played in the park, because we literally live right across the street from the park. Played in the park all the time, played with all the kids on the block and everything. This is when everybody knew everybody's name. I don't even know if people know their neighbor's name these days, okay? I honestly don't. I know them in faces, but I don't know their names, and I'm not finna sit there and have a conversation with them. But when we was kids, the mamas knew the mamas. We knew all the families and everything, because half the block grew up with each other anyway, the parents and all that stuff. And so, we was just out there having fun, living life. And I love seeing that part. The kids getting in trouble, the whole scene with them kissing in that thing, and they was like, "Oh, you're good, you're disgusting," and all this stuff. I'm sitting here like, y'all be doing the same thing, so whatever. But when you got the kids playing with each other, another instance of like colorism, I guess. When they had the girl sitting on the steps, and then you had the one little Puerto Rican girl, of course she's lighter than the other one, and you have the dark-skinned girls that are talking about hair texture, and talking about Troy's braids, and talking about the other dark-skinned girl and her hair sticking up, and then talking about calling each other ugly or whatever because of the skin tone and all this stuff or whatever. And then talking about the little girl hair. Oh, you got good hair. She got that Puerto Rican hair and that Puerto Rican hair. Okay. You got incidents like that. And it's like, again, you probably wouldn't notice it or make a big deal out of it then. But, as an adult, in this day and age, how things are so politically correct, you can't say stuff like that. And honestly, it is problematic to say things like that, but they're kids. So we all probably said some things like that before. We all have, and we learned that you don't need to say, "Oh, you got good hair." Okay. That's not necessarily a good thing to say. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to this colorism situation and all that. That's not necessarily a good thing to say. All right. Trying to make it seem like this texture of hair is not good versus this texture of hair, when every texture of hair is good. It's just a different way that you can style it, different way that you got to work with it. You know what I'm saying? The boys playing with the girls and being all up on there. That little boy that's tricked off on Troy, what his name, Greg, when Troy used to get up in his ass all the time because he played too damn much. Baby, you're not finna hurt my feelings all those times, and I'm finna keep on coming around, okay? I don't know if he probably did have a little crush on her, whatever, and that's why he kept coming around, because you're not gonna talk about my mama, for one. You're not gonna talk about how we on welfare, for two, and you're not gonna keep on talking about how I got left back. And then he told us he got left back 3 times. I said, what? What? You got left back 3 times? I said, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? How old are you? Because you look a little short for your age then. But that was cool though. That's how kids play. You know, only part that really kind of confused me, because, you know, Clinton, I'm pretty sure he was probably like a preteen. He probably was like around 13, 14 years old. I'll give him 13. And he looked like he probably was about to be a freshman in high school when the school year started, right? But I was really confused why Tommy was there. And was that Joaquin Bokeem on there? What is his name? Joaquin Bookham or whatever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Evil Dave Chappelle, that they say is Evil Dave Chappelle. But he was on the steps. He was always on their stoop, but he ain't had no speaking role, right? But you had Tommy. They adult. He was an adult, right? I was so confused why he was there hanging with these little kids. And it's not like he's hanging with teenagers. He is hanging with middle school kids, okay? And I was so confused, you know, singing, and then they going back and forth and, you know, calling each other racial epithets and racial slurs and all this stuff. I said, excuse me, sir, we don't do this. Okay, that could never fly. That could never fly these days, because you'll get your face popped. But then again, he that on one that y'all allow a certain type of Hispanic or Latino to say the N-word, even though they don't look black and they don't claim black. They black heritage, they African heritage. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just like really confused. I know I'm not the only one when I watched this movie who was thinking, why is this grown man playing around with these kids? You can't sing. And then that one scene where, you know, they was out there and he started throwing stuff at Tony I's apartment and starting up trouble and everything for them. Like, them kids got to deal with that when you leave. You could just go home somewhere else and you ain't got to deal with that. But you coming over here making trouble, right? And speaking of, when the mama told Wendell to take that trash out, and he did throw that trash over there to Tony I's apartment and start that whole fight the first time, and he got caught, okay? You know, and you know how it is when we was kids. We done did some stuff that we lied about so bad. I ain't even gonna hold you. I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, mama. And you want to know what it is? Our parents knew. Our parents knew, okay? If you really think that your mama don't know, especially if you grew up by your mama, if you really think that your mama don't know when you lying and when you telling the truth, you are fooling yourself, okay? They gave birth to you. They know, okay? And that's why we got our ass whooped all the time, because she knew we was lying. She knew we was lying and would give us chance after chance after chance to tell the truth. And we still sat there and lied. And she was like, okay, give me that belt. Give me that belt. All right. And let me tell you something. Some of y'all got y'all asses beat. Okay, I want y'all to understand there is a difference between a spanking, a whooping, and a beating. Some of y'all said that y'all be getting beatings. Okay, I want y'all to know that part is child abuse. Spankings, pop like that. A whooping, probably a couple of hits with a belt or something like that, and it's not even that bad. Okay, now when it gets to a point where you beating your kids to the point where you getting whelps on their body, that's abuse. Okay, I just want y'all to know the difference, you know. But and see, that shit was acceptable back then. That's why a lot of us fucked up today. I'm just saying. But let's be honest about it. Okay, let's be honest, really. Them kids was disrespectful as hell, though. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe because they was little boys or whatever, but I ain't like the way that they was talking to Miss Carolyn. Okay? Miss Carolyn was stressed the fuck out since we first met her on the scene. Okay? Carolyn was so stressed out dealing with them kids, and all she wanted was for them to clean up the house and have that shit cleaned up by the time she came home. She fixed y'all dinner, and she had y'all eating good. And see, that was another thing, too. You could tell that they were stretching a lot of the stuff that they had, but even though that they were stretching the money and they didn't have a lot, them kids always was fed with a full course meal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of parents did and still do to this day. You know, they may not have a lot, but they feed their kids for once, and they'll go without food themselves. But they made sure them kids had food to eat. Maybe we not gonna have money for this bill or have money for that bill, but y'all gonna have some food to eat, and I respect that. But excuse me. So you got that going on, and then they was just so disrespectful. The way Clinton used to talk to her was talking to her about the basketball game. I'm gonna watch TV. I'm gonna watch the Knicks, and I don't got to. And she said all I gotta do is clean up the kitchen and clean up the kitchen. She going to support the daddy, okay, in his endeavors, and they coming back. And it's 4:00 in the morning, and she woke their asses up out their bed and told them to clean up the kitchen and do all of this or whatever. Raise your hands if you ever had to go through that, and if you said that you didn't, use a lie. There's been many a time when my mama had woke us up because we were supposed to do something. And my mama said her mama did the same thing to them, okay? Because my mama grew up in the projects. And one thing that my grandma did not play about is having a dirty house. It's one thing that you already in the project, so you prone to stuff to happen. My mama said they had one of the cleanest apartments up in their goddamn projects, okay? Y'all not finna have no creepy callers all up in they shit. I said, I know that's the fuck right. But, yeah, waking up to do the dishes that was left over in the sink. No dishes in the sink, okay? Did you mop the floor? Man, I don't feel like doing that. One of the things, we used to have to wash clothes, right? And because in the building that we lived in, my grandparents, they had it's like a duplex or whatever, I don't know, a 2-story building. So they was on the first floor and they lived in the basement. My cousins and them, they was on the second floor because they made the first floor apartment there for them, you know. But my grandparents' room and everything was down in the basement. And my cousins and all them, they basically had that first floor apartment, you know, with their rooms, and they had the kitchen and all that stuff. That's when my grandma come up there and cook and do all that for everybody. And we was on the second floor in the second floor apartment. But see, they had a washer and dryer downstairs in the basement, and my grandma, they didn't care that we used it. Girl, we had to come down there and use that washer dryer all the goddamn time. And then my mama would be like, put this up in a washer, and it'd be late, okay? And then be like waking us up at early in the morning because she had to wake up early in the morning so she can go to work, and she'll wake us up to go downstairs and go get it. Do you know how irritating that is? Especially when you got to wake up within 30 minutes after that to get ready yourself and go to school, and you already tired. Baby, we had to wake up, go downstairs, and don't let it be cold. Don't let it be cold out there because it's in the winter or it's in the spring, in the fall or whatever, and it's cold outside. So we sitting out there shivering. There's been times that I had to go down there all the way to the basement, and it took longer than it needed to do because I'm sitting on the steps and I didn't fell asleep. And you want to know what? It happened so much, okay? The whole thing of when Troy had to take the money to go to the store, I'm pretty sure half y'all parents or a lot of y'all mamas then told y'all to go to the store and pick up this and go to the store and pick up that. Whether it was the corner store, whether it was the supermarket or whatever, they done told you to go pick up something, and you be like, damn, mama, I feel like doing that. That was my mama. That was my mama. I said, you know what? At this point, we figured it out. Parents had kids just so that they can do shit for them that they didn't want to do at the moment. Because listen, why are you calling me in here to get your remote control when the remote control is literally 2 inches away from you? You mean to tell me you couldn't reach over and get that yourself? Why are you telling me to bring you something to drink when you can get your ass up and go get it yourself? Girl, what? Okay. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so we had those moments when she went to the store and Troy snuck out to the store. We had moments where we snuck out to the corner store too. And I never forget that time I was racially profiled at the corner store. I'll talk about that later. And my mama came up there and showed her ass. I was like, yes, that's my motherfucking mama. You ain't finna play her, okay? You ain't finna play with hers, all right? But so you got that going on. And when the situation with Tony Eyes happened, and you know, the families get into it, the whole block get into it. Vic, played by Isaiah Washington, I guess they all looked up to him because he went to war, he came back, and you know, he that nigga, right? He got mad respect. So he come out there trying to defuse the situation. Tony Eyes, he went, this is how I know he had a little bit of mental illness, because he kept on seeing all of a sudden, they trying to talk about how your house is messed up and they not throwing garbage over there at your place, even though they were. But he goes into saying, we should never let you people come over here. And you killed my mother. You killed my mother. I said, excuse me? Now, how we go from trash to your mama being dead and they being the cause? You know, I'm pretty sure there's some type of connection. I don't feel like connecting the dots right now. It's a little bit late. But at the same time, I was like, Tony Eyes, you something ain't right. Vic had to come out there to try to defuse the situation. And dude was still screaming while everybody else is quiet. And so, Vic fucked around and popped him in the face. Okay, he slapped his glasses off. He was like, I'm about to call the cops on you. You can't get away with that. And he called the cops on him. I said, really? Really? You just gonna call the cops on a man like that? This man that went overseas in a war came back with shrapnel in his back. And he ain't all the way dead because he got his disability, right? And you gonna do that to him? He went over there fighting for you. And you gonna come over here just because he slapped you a little bit? Let that go. Let that go, okay? But, you know, they got that going on. One of my favorite scenes was when Troy came back and they was up there looking at the Partridge Family. Clinton wanted to watch the Knicks game because he was a big basketball sports fan. And, you know, they up there singing the song, I woke up in love this morning. And then they was singing it loud. And the mama was like, is the TV on? I said, is the TV on? You know, and they had to turn it down and they lied. We done that before. There's been many a times where my mom, because again, we were, we didn't have TV. We had one TV in our house at one point, and everybody watched the same thing. And then when we wanted to watch something that was like coming on late and my mama would sleep or whatever, we'll move the TV away from her door. And then we'll put like something up so that she couldn't see the it was crazy. And we'll turn that thing on. We'll have it all the way down low. And then it got to a point when we discovered VHS tapes where you could record stuff. We'll just record it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we had those situations. Then you get the part, and this was another problemsome part. Okay. One funny part, you had RuPaul that was up in here. And I couldn't tell if the guy that RuPaul was dancing with was like, she was playing Connie, okay? And she said, I'm not no puta. I keep my panties clean, okay? And they was just doing all their things. And I'm like, did he know that RuPaul was RuPaul? You know, like that was a guy? And if so, okay, that was cool. You know, because the way that they was throwing the F word around throughout this whole movie, I was just like, wow, you know? But when it comes to them, the guy that was up in the tank top, the red tank top, let's get into it for a second. Because again, a lot of the stuff that goes on and that probably was slid under rugs or didn't think too much of and people got away with. One of those things is subtle, like being the predator a little bit, being somewhat of a pedophile a little bit. I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but that's the tease that he was given. And what I'm saying about that is it made me uncomfortable looking at it now because I'm pretty sure some of us girls and probably little boys when we was younger that had some grown man or whatever, or it could have been a woman coming up to us talking about how we cute and, you know, give us a kiss and all this stuff and then patting us on here and patting us on our body. I've had that before, okay? And you don't think nothing of it at that time, but you really just kind of got assaulted or whatever. But hey, and I'm bringing that up because that scene where Troy got caught stealing in the store and she was with Mimi, the little Puerto Rican girl. And when she first come in, the guy from the cash register, he comes around and he up there basically trying to get her to kiss him and all this stuff and talk about some, give me a kiss and all this stuff. He literally diverted all of his attention from whatever he was doing onto her. Okay, and it was real creepy. And he was trying to force her to kiss him and was like, come on, give me a kiss or whatever. I'll tell your mom. She was like, I don't give a fuck, tell my mama. You know? And then when he caught, I'm pretty sure he knew that little girl was stealing and he let her do it because he probably liked her. We saw that. But then when Troy went to steal, even though it was right in front of his face, instead of telling the mom, told her you better come back when you got some money, and then tapped her on her butt when she left. You ain't have to do all that. That shit just really irked me because shit like that happens, and then today still stuff like that be happening. Okay. Listen, they was drag racing out here last weekend. I'm so glad they was not out here this weekend. It was a mess. I think somebody got into a car accident too down the block as well. Cause the way our streets made up. Yeah, I remember they did have NASCAR out here at one point, last summer. So yeah, they be out here doing some mess. But yeah, the dude who did that, he was the cashier, the owner of the bodega. We gonna call it the bodega. He was just really weird. Baby, speak about bodegas. Why y'all tearing Jennifer Lopez up like that? Since we talking about New York, I mean, I know this is Brooklyn. She from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? She from the block. And she used to go down to the bodega and she said, you know, she go get her ham and cheese on a roll with an orange juice or an orange drink. If you know, you know. And then a small bag of chips. Okay? And what New Yorkers really say, fuck you. Okay? Bitch, y'all been tearing Jennifer Lopez up for the past week and a half. Okay? Probably longer than that. And I have been living for it because I'm still trying to understand what did this lady do to y'all. Okay? I mean, they are over her shit. But hey, it is funny. But anyway, so yeah, you got that going on. Only for them to come back and you see Carolyn and Woody getting into it. All because of money again. And this is because Woody is a musician. And I feel as though, given the backstory on trying to decipher during this conversation, Carolyn, what really got her just popping off, and she was just trying to tell him that whatever money that he pulled out the bank and tried to pay with the check, it bounced. Okay? He's not working like an actual job. He's a musician, right? And at this point, I feel like he was a musician that had found success at one point, because we do hear him say, well, prior to this, before this, I was the one that had you up in Bloomingdale's and had y'all up in this and this and that. That was me that was doing it. But he no longer can afford to do stuff like that because now whatever he was doing then, it's not working for him. And I feel as though he probably got into the music business and he had to conform to what was and it probably could be that he was in a group. They never really did explain, but you could tell that he didn't like the music that was out now, because at one point Tommy was outside and he was like playing the stylistics and all of that stuff, and he wasn't here for it. He was like, turn that crap off, whatever. And he's a pure jazz musician now. And it feels as though he got into the music business like he probably was in a group, or he probably played music for these mainstream type of musicians, like these groups or whatever, not jazz accompaniments or whatever, but commercial songs and all that stuff to get where he was and to get the money in his pocket and to become the success that he was. And then when that he probably decided that this ain't in my heart to do no more. I want to follow my passion and become a jazz musician. Okay. And that's what he tried to do. And the difference is, what he first started out in the music business, it was making money. But him going out on his own and doing what's not popular at the moment, which was the jazz thing, it's not hitting it. Okay. It's not hitting it. It's not bringing in money. And we don't see him working any other type of job. Okay, but we do know that Carolyn is a school teacher and she had to pick up more hours and all this stuff and do the, summer school and all that, because there's no money coming in besides her income, and they're having issues over that. And that's where this big argument starts, and then she hears the kids up there watching TV and all this stuff, and she pissed off. The little boy Joseph is, banging on the door because he trying to take a piss, and Troy up in there playing with the tissue. How many of y'all put the tissue in y'all to try to make y'all have boobs? Been there, done that. We put socks and everything. Girl, it's crazy. It's so crazy how we all have universal type things that we did in our lives as kids. We live like damn near the same lives sometimes. But they get up in there, and she told them to turn the TV off, and she was like, I'm the one paying the bills. So I feel like, because when I first saw this, I was like, why did they get into an argument and the argument go from I'm thinking that it's going to be settled. And then she said, well, we can give separate bank accounts or whatever. And then she goes up there getting upset at the kids for having the TV on. And again, I guess, I understand, like she said, she the one that's paying the bills, okay? So therefore, if I say turn that shit off, turn that shit off, because she's the one doling out the money for it. And the kids and her about to get into it, so the daddy break it up because, of course, like the boys, they got them type of mouths that keep on going like this. They're a little disrespectful, like I said. So he breaking it up. She winds up messing up her foot on the steps. And I was confused as to why she kicked him out the house. I'm like, what did he do right then and there? Y'all just went from there to that. But I guess it was just like a combination of all the shit that's been going on. And it's like, listen, I need you to go. I need you to go at this point, okay? And it felt like she kind of emasculated him a little bit, especially when she was saying how I'm the one that's paying the bills and I'm the one that's doing this and my money is the one that's controlling this electricity and all this stuff or whatever, because he ain't bringing in nothing. But then, they just got into it real bad and she told him to get the hell out. Get your brother. Call your brother and have him come pick you up. And in most families, I don't say most families, but in some families, you do have that one or maybe two sibling, dad, or relative that's doing fairly well and they can help out. And that was his brother, right? And I guess he was like, I'm not going to say the black sheep of the family, but compared to his brothers, his siblings, he wasn't as successful at the time. Because you had Uncle Brown, who was his brother. He was able to come pick him up and do whatever. He was able to give Troy the plane ticket home and all that stuff when she went down south. And when she went down south to Unsung and their other brother. That's the connection between them, and obviously they're doing good as well. So, that has to feel some type of way that you have to borrow from your family. Because you've fallen on hard times, and that's an ego thing. And it happened you could tell it happened more than once. Even though they showed us one time, you could tell it happened more than once, okay? But at one point, they do make up, and it just like they stayed out for a couple of days. He came back, made up with her, and it was almost as if nothing happened because they are sitting at the table, kikiing and all in love with each other and again. But that's what adults do in relationships. Everything is not going to be happy all the time. But that happened, and things went a little right again because we just not getting back on a good footing, having everybody back up in the house, and we're about to go for a ride, okay? Baby, they get ready to go outside, and the ComEd people said, baby, y'all ain't paid the bill, and they said turn this electricity off. That's embarrassing because everybody outside looking. He keep on trying to say, I paid the bill before. This situation happened before. And I was like, no, it happened before that you bounced the check. Okay, that's just what it is. You bounced the check. I'm going to go fix this. Now you got to have a fire hazard happen because you got all these candles out in your brownstone. Okay, and people just... Vic come in with his girlfriend. Baby, when she said, I hope you don't think that we finna pay rent since we ain't got no lights. He said, now, Miss Jessica, you don't live here, so I don't expect you to pay anything since you don't live here. But Vic, you live here, so therefore you're going to pay rent. Oh, so I don't live here now? I said, if your name ain't on the lease, no, you don't. After I gave your wife all them food stamps, baby, when Troy got her ass whooped at the supermarket because of the food stamps, because that little girl Peanut got caught stealing, and then you sing again, it's not just like the colorism aspect. You got Brooklyn. New York is a big ass melting pot, just like Chicago is. But you got a lot of immigrants that come in from the islands. You got Jamaicans and, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and, is it a lot of Cubans up in New York? I know it's probably more Cubans probably down up in Miami or whatever, but or Florida, I should say. But you got the Indies coming over there, the Caribbean people, and Africans and all that stuff. And you heard when Peanut was coming at them, and they was slinging racial epithets at each other, racial slurs at each other, And I'm like, y'all both black, but y'all, of course, he had an accent. And so she was making fun of that because she was in the heat of the moment pissed. He called her a racial slur too, and I was just like, God damn, And then she gets mad at Troy for what? I think you, Troy, you was over there. Okay, she was looking. and took her food stamp. Nah, that's why I took your food stamp. Okay, fuck you in a food stamp. When Troy came home and said, yeah, I told you not to let me go, okay? Because I got beat up. It was like, so you been out here doing all this with these little boys, and you let some little girl named Peanut whoop your ass and take my food stamps? Baby. Honestly, I get it. Because Troy did not want to go to, she already came at that little boy Greg about the food stamps that he be on and welfare and all that stuff. And then for you to have to go down to the store and use food stamps, that's just like embarrassing. And I'm pretty sure some of us was embarrassed back there. We didn't have food stamps. I was never on food stamps. And it's no shade if you was on food stamp. It's a negative connotation because it makes you feel as though people, society, and even your own community make you feel less than and make you feel like you're poor. When like just like the mama said, everybody on it and everybody's struggling some way or another. And that's just what it is. Just because I may not have to use food stamps, but I'm probably struggling in another way. My mama was up there scraping and doing a whole bunch of stuff trying to get the money that we needed to get. Baby. That just triggered me right quick. Because earlier Monday, I went to go get some paper, some mail that was still coming to my father's apartment. And we found out some stuff. And we was sitting here, and me and my sister earlier, the other day, Saturday, when she came over to pick up the stuff, we were just sitting here like, wow. So you mean to tell me you were sitting on all of this for all of these years, and you had my mama struggling to take care of us, and your ass got all of this? That nigga got money. And I said, bitch, I ain't never see that big amount in my fucking life. I'm just like, oh wow. Oh, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, people be struggling out here. My mama used to try to get on Section 8, but because she was making too much at her job, she never could get on it. She could never get food stamps or welfare because she made too much. And so we was always on that. Like, we had to pay for lunch. Girl, they made it seem like we had it all. And you saw that one time where in the movie where Mimi had came over and she was like, you guys rich. And Troy had to tell him, no, we not. And was like, well, y'all got more than what other people got. Okay, like, y'all still rich. I don't care what you say, But yeah, it's a negative connotation when it talks about welfare and all that stuff. But it's just assistance, okay? People look down on people with it. But, at the end of the day, we all struggling. So why do we look our nose down at people because they got a little bit of assistance? I'm pretty sure if somebody was giving it to you, you would take it real willfully too. Bitch, please. Hell yeah. But you got that. Troy took Clinton's money just to get some ice cream. Oh, I would have whooped her little ass. Okay, he was collecting some nickels and stuff, and she done took them just for some damn ice cream, took his basketball tickets and all of that stuff. And so you get all of this going on, and you get the whole where they're taking the kids down south to visit the family and spend the summer or whatever with the family down south, for the summer. The northern kids go down south and all that shit. I've never experienced that. My mama did though, because y'all know, I don't know if y'all know. A lot of people from Mississippi I should say a lot of people that are from black folks that are from Chicago, their folks are from Mississippi. And that's exactly what it is for my family. My grandmother, born and raised in Mississippi. My grandfather, same thing. He did too. But it is what it is. They had my mama. She was the only kid that was born down in Mississippi. And then they came up when she was a baby up to Chicago. So it's like, that's just what it is. Niggas, the Great Migration. People from Mississippi migrated to Chicago. I don't know what it was about Chicago for them, but that's just what it is. So, my mama used to go down south on the summer sometimes or whatever. And they was up at Slaughter, Mississippi, where the Piggly Wiggly is at. And you ain't got no buses and shit. You need a car just to get to where you need to get to. Girl, I don't want to go to places like that. Sorry. Girl, they was dropping the kids off. They dropped Nate off at one of their family members' house, and then they dropped what's her name off at Troy off at Unsung Song and the brother house. Let me just tell you this. If you paid attention, and I'm paying attention now, and this is why I like to look at stuff with the subtitles on so I can actually read and hear at the same time what they're saying, because sometimes I don't catch it all, right? And on that second and third, fourth, I'd be like, oh my God. When they was up in the car driving to drop Troy off at Unsung, at one point, Carolyn said, I don't know what it is, but I'm tired. You know, it's a good thing that we taking these kids down south because I'm tired. I don't know what it is, but I'm just tired. And that was a sign right there. That was foreshadowing for what was going to happen. And we probably missed it the first time we watched it, even the second time or whatever. But I finally caught that. It took me till now to catch that, which is weird and crazy, I should say. But yeah, that foreshadowed what was going to happen. So they get to Unsung. And it was, you knew you was in for, I don't know. I need to look up the reason why they changed the cinematography and the way that them being down south was filmed. And it seemed like the film was stretched out instead of just being the normal way that it was when we seen them when they was in New York and how we see every other movie that we watch. But then when we get them down south, it's stretched out and it's smaller, you know, slimmer and all that stuff, the way that they got it. I got to see what that type of technique is. But, and it was significant to show the differences. Baby, you got Viola, who is their adopted daughter. You could tell that she was adopted. I just cannot see them two having sex. Unsung is one of those uppity bougie bitches that really act like she don't know. She one of them Jack and Jill blue blood type of girls, okay? She one of those, I'm pretty sure when they went to go adopt Viola, she literally wanted a light-skinned child. Wanted a light-skinned child with good hair. Because when Troy came down there and she saw her hair, she said, girl, what is that? You mean to tell me as old as you are, you don't know what braids are? You don't know what bees are? You don't know what she shells are? She was acting dumb, right? And then when she took her hair down and she was like, she was trying to do her hair and all that stuff, she was like, oh, girl, don't tell me that you got the nerve to be tender-headed. Now, as a tender-headed person that has been tender-headed all my life, baby, don't try it, okay? And then gonna say something, you ain't got that good hair like my Viola. She got that good hair. I said, bitch, you are colorism all up in it, you know what I'm saying? And that moment right there told me that she literally set out to adopt a light-skinned baby. You can't tell me no different. You cannot tell me no different. And so Viola was fed up. She was like, I don't give a fuck about her. Son ain't my mama. Okay, so I don't care how you feel about her, because bitch, I probably feel the same way. And I'm just glad I got somebody I could talk to that feel the same way. Okay, that's what it was, you know. And the daddy, he was just over her shit. He was over Unsung. And you could just tell, like, he was just there just to be there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was cheating on her. That lady was getting on his nerves. If the girl says she didn't break out of the house, she didn't break out of the house. God damn it, honey. Shit. I was like, damn, Uncle Clem. He was over it. All right. The whole thing of, she was so focused on looks and, you know, making sure little Viola had her bra on, her little training bra on and all that stuff. You know, I don't like when you having people coming to your home. No, that's not the right one. You having people come to your home that's supposed to be your relative. You're supposed to accept them for who they are, you know, but then you looking down your nose at them, judging what Troy got and all that stuff. Just really bougie. Basically, it looked like she threw away her clothes for the most part, or didn't have her wear her clothes and went and got her some new clothes and stuff, just to dress like Viola, you know. But it was a stark difference, okay? They were in a nice neighborhood and all of that stuff, and peaceful for the most part. But even when they was up there in Brooklyn, the neighborhood didn't even seem that bad, outside of the fact that they had them two dudes that came in always sniffing and shit. But it didn't seem bad. We ain't see no violence going on for real, no shootouts, no nothing like that. And so that's why I still wonder why they call it Crooklyn. You know, why they call this movie Crooklyn. Y'all know what I did look up is because this movie was written and put together by Spike Lee and his sister and brother, right? And they first tried to pitch it as a TV series for Nickelodeons, of all things. Nickelodeons need to just be canceled. Turn the network out because it's just stuff coming out left and right after that expose docuseries came out earlier this last weekend, you know. But yeah, and so Spike Lee said F that because they would take too long and went on ahead and made it into a movie. But yeah, you got that going on. And it was just a different flow of things. Baby, when she got that letter from her mama and she said, listen, the mama was telling them all of the stuff that was going on. You know, how Clinton got them tickets to see the Knicks. And it was the same time as the daddy was doing his concert. A concert that they knew that wasn't nobody going to show up to. And that's exactly what it was, you know. And, of course, Clinton said, baby, I'm going to have to go to the I spend money. I'm sorry that the game is at the same time as your concert, but I'm going to go to the game. And I think I probably would have did the same thing. Man, no need for both of us to be pissed off that night, but you know, but that's still what wound up happening. I don't understand. Y'all, tell me what your opinion was about that scene when they came back from the concert. They was congregating at the house, chopping it up, trying to lift the daddy spirit up because ain't nobody show up to that concert barely besides family, right? And then Clinton finally came in. And he just said the Knicks won. And then the daddy was like, we got some food. And he was just walking away. He was like, I ain't hungry. And he had an attitude. He was very somber. Like something happened. What do you think that was about? And why do you think Clinton felt that way? Like, you chose to go to the game, but you would be excited. You would think he would come home and he'd be excited that his team won. But like, I don't understand. I never could figure that out, what that was about, why he felt that way. But, you know, there's that. And so with all of the stuff that was going on, Troy basically said, listen, bitch, I would rather be down up there in New York, you know, with the rustle and bustle of the city and having fun, you know what I'm saying, than being down here in this slow ass shit. I ain't calling the South slow, but that's what they call it. They said it's too slow down there. You know, that probably what it was back then, but I don't think it's like that today. You know what I'm saying? This was in the 70s. This is 2024, so I'm pretty sure things are more like a metropolitan mixed with a little bit of country. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little bit faster. I'll get it to y'all because I really want to come back down now. I could see myself. I really can see myself moving down to the South. I could. And I've always I said I was going to be a city girl for life, but I'm thinking hard about it these days, and I can see myself moving to the South. I really can. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, so she just told them, listen, bitch, I want to go home. Okay? I want to go home, and it was her birthday. Our son basically was like, well, at least stay out here for the birthday party that we put together for you. She had her little friends over. Well, Viola little friends. And Uncle Son could not find that little dog Queenie. Baby, Queenie! I don't know where she went. She looked for her one time, couldn't find her. Started to look for her again. She was like, I don't know where my baby went. And she was just so upset in her feelings. Understandable. Because, you know, animals become like your babies, your kids, okay? And when they went to open up that goddamn sofa bed, and then Queenie popped out. And the way all of them kids just stood there like, they didn't even say, oh my God, or nothing. They just stood there looking at her having a fit. Oh my God, my baby, I can't live without my baby. Take me, Lord. I can't live without my baby, Queen. I said, oh my God. I said Viola and Troy did that to Queenie. Now, at first, I used to think it was just Troy, because Troy made it known that she couldn't stand Queenie. But at the same time, Viola couldn't stand Unsung. And she knew that Unsung loved that dog more than she loved her. That's probably why too. And she couldn't stand the dog either. And I feel like it could have been Viola by herself too, because she was trying to show out to Troy. But at the same time, I strongly feel like they both did that shit together. They both did that shit together. Y'all tell me, do you feel like one of them did it or both of them did it? But after that, they had to go home. And then when she came home, the brother, the daddy brother Brown picked him up from the airport and took him to the hospital. And that's when she found out that her mama was sick, but they know if she was actually sick, but you could tell that she was sick, okay? And at one point she did say she wanted to go home, you know. That conversation that she had with her when she told her, it's like the mama knew. She knew she wasn't going to stay around that long. And I feel like people know when they're about to go. They don't know when, but they know that it's coming. And when she told her, I want you to watch after Joseph. He's the youngest. I want you to be, you're responsible for him. First of all, I felt like, why put that on her? You know, she's just a little girl. But then again, you see how, once again, the oldest daughters, they get left with putting in charge and becoming like parents, second parents. And it just goes to show that she looked at her because, first of all, she was her only daughter. And I really feel like she probably thought that she was more responsible than Clinton. Okay, because Clinton probably was about to be out the house soon. You know, like I said, I feel like he was about to be on his way to go to high school. So he's going to be focused on that. And, you know, she's the only girl. Joseph needs to have a little bit more mothering because out of all of the kids there, he was with the mama the least because he was only a few years old, you know what I'm saying? And they had more years for her. And it's like she knew that it was going to be her time. They get home and a couple of days later or so, the daddy had to come up there and tell him that, you know, the mama got cancer. And the way that them boys broke down and she stayed the same and just didn't have no emotion, I feel like that would have been me. The way that them boys had been so disrespectful, but they was just being kids. And, you know, at one point when the mama had woke them up to go clean up that day at the beginning of the movie, and then Clinton said, I'd rather have a father than a mother any day. I'm pretty sure he regrets saying that now because now his mom is sick. When Lil Wendell said, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Y'all, that scene gets to me so bad every time I see it. It makes me tear up every time I see it. I have to give it to these kids who were playing the kids in this movie because even though I don't even think we synced them outside of anything else, if we have, I need to look them up. But they did the job really, really well because they were acting as if they were not acting. You know what I'm saying? As if they were really just going through the motions and they was really just being kids, okay? And this really was their home life, you know? And I want to know if all of that was in the script or if some of that was improv because it was too real for me. It was too real for me. It just came out so easily for some of them, you know what I'm saying? But that scene really touched me, and especially now when you go through stuff already. Like, I almost lost my mama last year. I lost my father last year. I'm going to be honest with y'all. The emotions that I did not have with my father passing is the emotions that I actually had when I thought my mama was going to be out this pain, and that I know for sure my mama's what I will have when my mama go. Okay, like I shed not one tear for my father. Okay, and like my sister was over here this Saturday, and she was talking about something, and she brought up a memory that I had forgot about that went down when we was younger, which further makes me not like him. Okay, and girl, I was like, I ain't never thought I'd have a repressed memory or whatever, but when she said something, it triggered it and it came right back, and I said, God damn. Okay, it wasn't nothing. It was on a domestic thing. Okay, like it was fucked up, but yeah, it was something like that. So I understood that emotion, what they was going through. But when they found out that we found out that, you know, the mama had passed, and Troy did not want to go to the funeral or whatever, that would have been me. That would have been me. And I feel as though because I love my mama so much, if I was to get that news that she passed away, it would not hit me, or if something happened to her, whatever, it would not hit me right away. I would just be sitting in it, or I'll be trying to, like not think about it and put it to the side until I break. And that's just what it is. And the whole thing about Troy not wanting to go to the funeral and all of that stuff, that would have been me. I don't want to go to the funeral. I don't want to go to anybody's funeral, okay? I don't want to sit there and have people coming up to me asking how I'm feeling and, oh, I'm so sorry, and seeing people crying, all that stuff. And I don't want to cry in front of people. I want to do my grieving in private, okay? That's just what it is. I don't want to be around people when I'm sad and everything like that, unless I chose you to be around me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when she told that Aunt Maxine, my mama would never want me to wear nothing like that because she do not like polyester. I was waiting for her to say that she will never have me nothing so cheap and ugly. Baby, Aunt Maxine was in her feelings. She said, all right, Troy, okay? Fuck out of here. That's what she wanted to say. Fucking bitch. That's what she wanted to say, but she had to realize this is a little kid. She going through the motion. But that touching moment where we always saw them fighting. Always saw the kids fighting. And then we finally see Clinton sit over there and take Troy's hand in hers, interlock their hands to each other. And that was a beautiful moment. And right when they was gonna have that moment, and he asked them who all these people were, that's when Lil Joseph come in and said that them crackheads, them snuffheads was out there making fun of him about the mama being dead. And so Troy had to come out there and take care of business. And he gonna ask her why he hit her. Why he hit him, I should say. Or I should say, why she hit him. Bitch, what you say about my mama? That's why. We tired of you. Go on your own block and sniff. Okay? And from then on, we saw her when she finally broke, when she heard the daddy, trying to get a mouse out the house. And she thought it was him and the mama, arguing and all that stuff. And he had to wake her up and say, mama not here. And that was the moment she broke. And touching. And then we see that she had to grow up. She had to grow up and take care of Joseph. Because nobody, he needed a motherly figure. And that's what she was forced to be at. It took her mama's place. Oh, and that's something to be said about that, about kids having to grow up fast and no longer being kids and, having to be adult-like or whatever. And we see it happen a lot. And it's unfortunate. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. It's unfortunate. But Crooklyn is my movie. Crooklyn is one of my favorite movies from Spike Lee. Like I said, I can watch most of the time and never get old. It's so one of those movies I can quote from. One of those movies I can pick up anywhere and just be like, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying? If you like Spike Lee, put down one of your favorite movies. Put down your favorite movie from Spike Lee. And let's have a discussion. How do y'all feel about this movie? And if you did not like the movie, put down why you didn't like the movie. I really want to know why people don't like the movie if they don't. Because I've never really heard anybody say that they don't like it. And so that'd be interesting. Because I know there has to be some people that say that, oh my God, my foot is just a mess. That's crazy. Anyway, you guys, I will see you later. You enjoy the rest of your week and have a good one. Peace.